Today we're going to talk about the 5 pieces of software that I think are going to be most useful when it comes to studying for your Leaving Cert Maths exam. I'll leave a link in the description to my Instagram and Facebook page just in case anyone needs a personalised touch to study for the Leaving Cert Maths exams rather than just software. But nonetheless, sit back, relax and enjoy the video. One of the best investments that either you or your parents can make for your Leaving Cert is to invest in this website. This is called Studyclix.ie. And if you haven't heard of it before, it basically has all previous exam questions and mock questions on it. So not only that, it characterizes exam questions by topic. So if you wanted to study Leaving Cert higher level algebra, you search it up here, straight away it comes up, and I have all past questions in the Leaving Cert of algebra and also the mock questions too. Not only that, it has other resources on it like video notes and resources and a community section where you can post stuff. And I would pay €60 just for the maths questions for the year, probably even more. And you get this for all topics like physics, English, etc, etc. By the way, I'm not sponsored by this software at all in any fashion. I just love it so much. It would be great if I was, because I wouldn't have paid for it then. But yeah, I've just found this so useful for studying with my students, and everyone I've talked to that from my students found this really useful all throughout the year. This software costs a total of between 45 to €60 per year, but to be honest, it's so worth it. Get your parents to pay for it. It's the price of one grind lesson, just get them to pay for it. Definitely worth it. The second piece of software that I think is absolutely essential to start using, especially if you're planning to go to university, just start using it now for your Leaving Cert. It will make your life 10 times better, I guarantee it, is Google Calendar. The reason why this is so useful is because this isn't about planning in the maximum amount of hours you can study. This is about planning in what you have to do and giving yourself more free time. So what do I mean by that? If you know you have to do 2 hours math study after school, and say you go to school, I'll put in an event here, say from the hours of 7:30 till 3:30 you're in school. You just schedule that into your calendar, school, and say you have hurling training on from 7:30 to 8:30, and that's hurling there. And when you get home from school until when you go to hurling, you know you have homework to do. So you're going to assign yourself, right, I'm going to sit down for an hour and a half and I'm going to do my maths homework, and you just slot that in and then look at that. Now you have an hour and a half or 2 hours before you go to hurling that you have free time. You can, either relax or you can do more study. But the whole point of this is to block in specific parts of time that you're going to do certain tasks, and that will actually give you more time rather than less time. So I'm a huge fan of Google Calendar. Just as a bit of an insight, this is what mine looks like. Now I've been using it for like 3-4 years now, so I've been able to just block everything in and be as productive as I can. But if you're just starting to use this, what I would do is I would make what's called a perfect week and just plot in a perfect week. So we did just one day Wednesday, and I'd put in here, say maybe you wake up at 7 o'clock, I'd put that in, go to school, come home, and say you want to do 2.5 hours of study or 2.5 hours of work when you come home. So there's 1 hour of study and an hour and a half of maths homework there. You slot that in and then you're done. Just if you could get into the habit of using Google Calendar, you'll be more productive with your time. And I can't stress enough how much this will save you time, effort and stress. Plot your perfect week and don't overdo it. Make sure you put in the week things you have to do and things you enjoy, like maybe if it's hurling, GAA, exercise, or on the weekend if you're planning to do maybe 5 hours on Saturday, put it in the morning time here on Saturday, and then say from after 12 o'clock or after 3 o'clock, put in from this time, say from 1:30 till 10 o'clock you want to chill out. Just put it into your calendar. This is chill out time. And that's the beauty of the calendar, is you don't just have tasks that you have to do that are randomly disorganized all over the place. By scheduling things in and actually following what you put on your calendar, you're going to have more time, be less stressed, and get far more done by the time the Leaving Cert comes. The next app that I highly recommend, now you don't need to invest in Chat GPT 4, but the normal one is fine, is Chat GPT, right? So Chat GPT 3.5 is really good for studying, getting answers, etc, etc. So right here I just put in, how do I factorize x squared plus 5x plus 6, and it gives me straight away not only the answer but how to actually get the answer. So this is why it's so good. And To be honest, I'm actually kind of scared to put this out in case any of my students see it, because it basically just tells you how to do all the homework you would assign to your students. But I think it's much better off to steer into this and use this to help people learn. So what I would recommend is using this to help you learn. Don't just use it to cheat on your homework or cheat on exams. That'll only do you damage. But use this to check your answers and take a look at, if you can't figure it out, maybe take a look at how the answer actually is solved, and look at this, read this, study this, and ask yourself, does it make sense? Next is Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha, I think I'm saying that right. This is a little bit similar to Chat GPT, where you can pretty much solve quadratics and plot graphs much faster than it would be to actually solve the whole thing and then plot it yourself. So if we wanted to take the same example as before, x squared plus 5x plus 6, put it in here, it tells me the roots and then it plots it for me. And yeah, some of the roots, product of the roots as well, that's there too. So this is really, really useful. For example, I would never, for a cubic or a quatric for leaving cert, let's just say it's a cubic plus x squared plus like that would take you quite a while to solve and then graph, but to put it into Wolfram Alpha, it's a lot easier. So yeah, I would definitely recommend using this software to get a visual aid when you're answering exam questions, or just if you want to check your answer, have you plotted something right, or for calculating the roots of something. Or you could even put in here, I think you can put in solve the equation as well. You can put in some other things like let's say is equal to x squared. It might, if I put that in, it should give me another graph because it'll rearrange it and solve it. So yeah, you can see it brings that x squared over, cancels it and solves it. So there's lots of things you can do in Wolfram Alpha, but plotting graphs and factorizing equations is probably the best thing you can do with it. Last but not least is YouTube. Now, YouTube can be a huge distraction. Like right now I'm opening this up on my business account, and you can see it's just giving me all these distraction videos that are trying to get my attention. That being said, it can be really, really good for study resources. So if I look up here, factorizing quadratics, there's a few YouTube channels like Khan Academy, some other good ones. If you even looked up Leaving Cert as well, the organic chemistry tutor, he's really good. Lots of videos then come up that give you help with this. So if you're really stuck with something and all the other pieces of software just aren't making sense and you need a teacher that actually walks you through something, a video like this or a video like this might just give you that in-depth understanding that you need. So YouTube can be a good resource, but do not let it distract you. What I do is on my personal YouTube, I download a blocker so I don't get distracted. So what I do is I put on my YouTube feed eradicator, and this is a Chrome extension that when I add this to Chrome and click add, now when I refresh my YouTube feed, I shouldn't see any garbage basically on my home page. So you can see now it's just all gone. And if I look up again, leaving cert maths, I'll get my results of course, and then I don't get any recommended videos on the side. So that's just a personal tip. If you are finding you're getting distracted with social media in general, you can use this YouTube feed eradicator, or if it's any other website like Instagram, Facebook on your desktop, I'd recommend downloading them too, because sometimes you don't even notice when you start clicking on things and getting distracted. So yeah, anyway, nonetheless, YouTube can be a great resource for leaving cert maths during the year if you're struggling.